that right there will set you apart from everybody, because that shows that you know how to do your job.
What's up, everyone? It's Justin here with Tech Journey. So listen, I actually had no intentions on recording this conversation and releasing it. I blame this all on my friend and Course Careers graduate, Joseph Smith. So him and I are on a Zoom call together for the first time, and he's like, Justin, you and I should get together and do a mock interview. And I'm like, yeah, that's not really my thing, but you're right, because I am about to start applying for jobs and I need to practice. So I give him the rundown on my friend, Nikki Carney, who works for Cisco, who is actually a sales lead development rep, and she is a peer interviewer for Cisco. So then when I tell him about her, he's like, you know what, Justin? I would like to do a call with her if that's possible. And then I'm like, that's another good idea. So I reach out to her and she agrees to meet. So soon after all three of us jump on the call, Joseph is like, Justin, this will be good material for your channel. Maybe you should record it. And then I'm like, okay, I didn't plan on doing that, but you're right again, Joseph. So here we are. The Tech Journey community gets to hear the inside scoop from a sales lead development rep who works for the #1 company to work for in the United States of America. And guess what? She has only been on the job for 11 months, and she is already a peer interviewer in her company. This is a video that will add value to you literally from start all the way to finish. Without further ado, let's get to the good stuff.
So, I would love to give you guys some tips for interviewing. I just went through a really great course and got certified to be an interviewer. So it was really kind of cool being on both sides and having those vantage points from being an interviewee and an interviewer. So I'm a peer interviewer now for my team. We just started hiring, because I'm on the global sales team. So we just started hiring people for our EMEA people, our APJC people, and we're hiring a leader as well, someone to like man the European team and help out, because my boss is in California, so it's like a 8-hour difference. And so when they're up and working, she's just waking up in the morning, like, so it doesn't work. So she needed somebody to kind of like be on the same time zone. And so we've been peer interviewing to make sure our culture stays great, and we're having somebody that fits in with our culture. So just to give you guys a little insight, here is some of the things that are hiring criteria for most interviewers. Skills and knowledge is 1. Attributes is 2. Achievements is 3. And motivation is 4. So usually most questions that you'll be asked will fit into one of those categories or across several points of those categories. So there's different like techniques. There's behavioral interview questions, and then there's situational interview technique questions that you may be getting asked. And just to preface that, you're going to be getting, like, most people are used to like having 1 or 2 interviews to get a job. I know I was, like, with the industries that I had worked in. With corporate sales or anything tech related, you going through at least at minimum 4 interviews minimum. Most of the time it's between 4 and 6. And they're going to be a variety of different type of interviews. You got your hiring manager, you got your peer, you got your internal, your recruiter, your screener. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll probably talk to the boss's boss also. And sometimes they'll throw you in a panel one, which is really wild. The panel interview is rough. It's rough, man. The panel interview is rough. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's probably my biggest, scariest one. I've only had to do 1. Thankfully, I didn't end up getting that job because I was so nervous. I don't think I would have made it anyway, because it's like rapid fire, pow, pow, pow. And they like, reading off each other. They looking for your points of weakness. It's crazy.
Oh, it's about to get better. But before we go any further, I need you to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Next, you're going to hear about tips and tools for the interview, Something very critical that is probably going to be asked in your interview. And here is a really good one. What exactly is the interviewer looking for when they interview you?
Tools at your disposal that is good for research purposes. Glassdoor. Glassdoor is great. I would suggest like go on ahead during this time when you're looking for a job to make a profile, do the whole thing so that you can be able to like really look at these companies. Look at the reviews for the role from past people that work there or currently work there. That's a good indicator. Also, be mindful that some companies do get people to put good reviews on there. So kind of look for things that look a little sus. But for the most part, it's good intel. Like for me, for example, when I did a lot of research for ThousandEyes, I saw that a lot of people said the same thing. Great company, great culture, but they're having a lot of confusion because of the acquisition with Cisco. That was the same thing over and over and over. So I decided, because when I paid attention to the timeline of when they were saying that, I noticed that it had been some interim time between those comments and when I was applying for this job. So I was like, whatever those kinks were, they probably done worked them out by now. And I took a gamble on that, but it was the best gamble ever because it was it was the facts, you know. They had ironed those wrinkles out. And number one, I don't look at that as a negative thing because that's normal. When you're bringing two huge companies together, well, a huge company with a smaller company together, you're gonna have those pains. That's normal. And so I didn't look at that as a deterrent. I looked at it as like just what happens normally with the acquisition. You know, that's normal for anything when you're doing something huge and new like that. And so, and I was like, it's also been about 7 months. They probably didn't figure it out. I think I'll be good. And I'm glad I, betted on that because I was right. And yeah, so that was a good one for me. And because overall the comments were great. The culture was great. They said I love the company. Like I love the fact that the company was about like they had like this thing with alter egos and like like you can make up your own alter ego. Like every single person in the company has an alter ego, which is dope because I love superhero stuff. So, I'm a comic book fan. I grew up watching X-Men and all that stuff. So I was like, that is dope. And I thought it was cool to be a salesperson with an alter ego. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can just like switch it on when you get on your call. Like I love that. So I thought that was great. I thought it was fun. And like when I saw the video, from the owners, I watched what the CEO and the owners say about their company, and I look at their posts, saying, to see what they're really about. Are they like just stiff or are they fun? You know what I'm saying? And I love that they were like fun people. They were just some nerds that created this amazing software, this amazing tech, and they started this company, and they're just really down to earth guys. Like they had like t-shirts on, like everybody. This is what I wear to work, which I love. So I preface that to say that's a really good tool to use. Look at what people saying about the company that work there or currently work there. Number two, and I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. So this site is called hunter.co. It's an amazing site and it organizes your job research and also tracks and organizes all of your jobs that you are looking for. So that way you could keep track of them and kind of when you have like your wish list, then you have like which ones you applied for, and then you have the it's like columns for like your wish list of jobs. Then you have your applied jobs. Then you have the ones where you have an interview, and then you have what the result was. So what stage you're in, basically. This site is amazing. This site will keep you, organized. You'll know exactly where you are with the process. It's an amazing. I can't rave about it enough. Whenever I got off the phone with a recruiter and they were moving me along, I always asked them, who is the next person that I'll be interviewing with? And then I found them on LinkedIn, sent them a message, introduced myself, and told them I'm looking forward to the meeting that I'll have with you next Wednesday at 1. And I'm telling you, that right there stands out because people don't do it. A lot of people do not do that. They don't do that. They just thank you for the interview after, but they never reach out before and introduce themselves ahead of time. It shows initiative. It stands out. That was the one comment that I heard the most from a lot of the jobs where I got offers. They said, you were the only person who ever did that. I did it with every single person I interviewed with, everyone. So that's a good tip. Secondarily, let's get to the interview questions. So I'll give you an example. Tell me about a time when. Those are questions that's probably going to come up. Tell me about a time when. Those are questions where they want to hear about you and what you did that relates to the job. So I was telling Justin this. You want it to be a story every time. Have them already ready. Have some stories ready from your past jobs where you were successful, all right? Where you met a goal, where you helped your team. Like whatever it is that they said the skills that they're looking for in the listing for the job, you want to have a story that accentuates that you've done this, that is measurable with metrics if you can. So and I gave them an example. You want to have a beginning, middle, and end to the story. You want to be concise. You want to be clear. You want to be confident. You don't want it to sound like too prepared, but you want to have it ready. So you have like 5 different little stories and whatever, depending on the type of tell me a time when question that comes up, you'll kind of already know which one you want to use. So it'll be most relevant and it'll accentuate those skill sets throughout the story. So you want to, show where you had leadership. You want to show where you were strategic. You want to show, how you helped your team. You want to show where you were coachable, where you were a fast learner. And then you want to provide metrics to it. You want to say, out of the 10 deals that I was supposed to do on this, for last month's sales deal, I went above and beyond, month over month. You know what I'm saying? They want to hear those like numbers with it if they can, because then that shows like proof that you actually did it. You don't just say I was great at my job. I was the top seller. How, when, what, who? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna probe you. They're gonna probe you if you don't show, that story, and make it like fun. You know what I'm saying? Like make it memorable. So you also and I'll give you an example of some of the signals that they're looking for within like when they're trying to sell you. So like they're gonna see if you came alive during the interview. They want to see examples from your past that demonstrated real interest and real growth and real impact. Um, they want to see when you describe the job, the problems, the culture, how did they react? You know what I'm saying? That's like the things that they want to see. Do you ask questions about the job, about the culture, about the team, about the product? You know what I'm saying? That's like when that research comes in handy. So if you've done research on their product, you can ask questions about, how is your team's strategy for next quarter's rollout of whatever product that you read in an article that they're about to come out with. That right there will set you apart from everybody, because that shows that you know how to do your job, because that's already showing them that you know how to do job research. Because when you're an SDR and you're outbounding, that's how you get people's attention. That's how you make those emails that are personalized, because you're doing research on the company and you're able to connect their needs or current future plans that they have with your solution. That's your job. And that's how you get them to respond. That's how you get them to be qualified. And that's how you get them on a meeting with the AM. So that's what they're thinking about.
My friend Nikki went to SV Academy for her technology sales development training. If you have any questions whatsoever, her LinkedIn is in the description. Do reach out to her. Y'all already know my school, Course Careers. Link is in the description. Listen, if y'all have any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to email us. techjourneyinfo@gmail.com. Send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. And also, connect on LinkedIn. We will see you on the next video.